All right, everybody, we got an APB, a BOL, for lack of a better term. Let's be on the lookout. And for once, it's not for me. It's a stolen Lambo. And this is where we can use your help. Now, why am I reporting a stolen Lambo? A, nobody likes a thief. Nobody likes when people steal shit. But there's a rental company or somebody who's renting cars out of, I believe, the Chicago area. I saw Bolian shared it and eventually trickled down to me. He's renting like a Highlighter Green Gallardo Spider. I don't know the exact color. Somebody will put it in the comments. You guys can argue over the color combo. I don't really care. But somebody stole a rental car and they're still driving around. So really not a smart thief. But it's been about 4 or 5 days, which is really weird that it's been spotted. Oh, we spotted. How do you drive around like a green Lamborghini and not get caught? Like, oh yeah, I spotted it. Well, you spotted it. What do you do after that? You just, oh yeah, so there it goes in the other direction. You call the cops and nothing happens. So it was in Tennessee, then like around Nashville area, then something about potentially Georgia. So keep an eye out in that southern region. If you see a Gallardo Spider, obviously there's a picture of it, so you can get very familiar with it. There are probably not too many like this. It's easy for people that are not really into Lamborghinis to confuse this with Verde Ithaca or just any other green Lamborghini. This is like highlighter green. I've never seen it before. It's actually the only car I've ever seen in this color. So keep an eye out. It had a Utah license plate, which is not surprising, but strange for a rental car company out of Chicago. But something to be aware of if you see and they may have changed the plate by now if they have actually stolen it. Here's the problem. Did they actually steal it? You're like, what do you mean? Did they actually steal it? The guy's looking for his car. Well, I went through this before, and I believe we even made a video on it. And if we did, I'll have Jimbo link it. If we didn't, I'll make a video on it. When I caught a Bentley theft, which I busted like an international car theft ring when somebody tried to steal my GTC. And then another time when I actually had a Porsche, the GT3, the Porsche, nice one, it was 07, it was a nice car, was stolen, shipped overseas, God knows where it went. But that was by a Hungarian porn star. But I learned, and that's part of business, is you learn lessons. And the lesson we learned there was conversion. What's conversion, Rob? Well, conversion is the legal term for they didn't steal your rental car. And that's not good. You don't want to be like, at the end of the day, you go to sleep being like, yeah, somebody steals my car. I'll call my insurance company, be like, somebody stole my car, make a claim. Problem is, when you give somebody the keys to your car, even in exchange for money, not in exchange for money, it's not theft. You've given your car to somebody. Regardless of what the terms are, that's now a civil matter. That's not a criminal matter. So, yeah, I gave him my car. He said he could drive to the store. He just never brought it back. Cool. Like, sue him. Do whatever you want. It's not theft. In the rental car space, it's probably easier for an individual owner, but that's something to think about if you're using Turo or any of these other like Rent My Car apps. If somebody doesn't bring your car back, you can get the right to keep billing them. You could send them invoices. You can do whatever you want, but they didn't steal your car. They just haven't returned it. The rental it's still out on rent for effectively, and it could be forever. And that's one of the weird downsides to the rental business is that it's very easy to sort of get a car for free. Like I learned my lesson. We check ID, we check insurance, and we validate the credit card. So at the end of the day, I've got your credit card. So you're incentivized to bring it back because it's your credit card. I verified that it is you who has my car, not somebody else. What ended up happening with this Lambo is apparently it was a fake ID, which you can't get tripped up by fake IDs. I run every license. I call the insurance company to verify coverage, verify everything matches. So nobody's going to get away with my cars ever again. I learned my lesson 10 years ago. Some of the smaller companies and newer companies are learning their lessons as they go, and hopefully they correct it in the future. But that's not the point of this story. That is something to be aware of. If you're on Turo or renting your car on Turo, you want to make sure that you go through this process. I think Turo does a pretty good job of vetting people prior to releasing the car. But be careful. If somebody hacks an account and you're not doing a physical in-person handover on the keys. When I rented that monkey van down in Texas, there's a little lockbox. I put the lockbox in, I picked up the van, and I brought it back. But situations like that, you're opening yourself up to possible conversion issues. I also run GPS in all my cars, so I know where they are at all times. Apparently, this guy had GPS as well, but the GPS was disabled. So when you lose your GPS, then you determine that somebody's running a fake ID. It's a little late in the game for that. But to be fair, if this guy didn't steal it to chop it up or didn't steal it to do anything nefarious with it, he's just the dumbest criminal on the world, because he's not stealing a Chevy Malibu that's gray and blends in with everything. He stole a Highlighter Green Lamborghini convertible. You're not really getting away from much there. But he's on the run, or on the drive, whatever you want to call it, moving around. You guys can use your help here. If you see that car, please contact the information in the description, or just call the police and say, I see a car that's stolen. I don't know the numbers. Like, I could tell you which police department to call. The problem is when you're following somebody, or you see somebody and you call, and then they call, and then they call, and they eventually get to the guy that's actually in charge of it. The car's gone, or you're in a dangerous situation. I do have to point out, they also said that and I don't know how they know this, but the Post said that these guys have guns. I don't know why they have guns. I don't know how they know they have guns. But if you see the car, don't be a hero. Don't go approach them. Don't go try to be, oh, it's a stolen car, you asshole. Don't do any of that. Just call the cops if you see a Highlighter Green Lamborghini convertible with Utah plates. It may be the wrong car. Obviously, I'll put the information in the description. But don't be a hero. But if you can do us a favor and you see that car, nobody wants their stuff stolen. It's not cool for a business to suffer because a couple of bad decisions. I'd like to see this with a happy ending, which is the guys who stole the car or converted the car. I don't think the rental company's going to get the money if it was a stolen license, probably fake credit cards and everything. But I'd like to see them at least get their car back and a happy ending to all of this. So keep an eye out in the Nashville, Tennessee, Atlanta, South Carolina, that southern Bama, Louisiana region. If you do see it, give a shout or post to me a photo of it on my Instagram. Just tag me in it, and I'll try to get the right people on board. And at least we can narrow down the area as to where the car is, and hopefully they get it back. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your help, and I'll see you tomorrow.